All right, everybody, it's a lot of noise out here, so I'm going to talk. I hope you can hear me. This is my load right here, this flat steel. You see this? There's 2 straps within the first 5 feet of the first load, 2 straps in the first 5 feet of the second load, all the way down. And this load weighs 40,000, so I definitely have enough securement on here. But I want you to see what's wrong with this load. Let's walk this way. Here's another load of flat steel. This one has changed, which is the way it's supposed to be done. Tubiest of the tubiest, the best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. And I'm 50 plus, and I'm sitting in Laredo at the terminal, and it's about, I don't know, 700 degrees or something like that. And I just turned the truck off so we can get to this video. All right, what you just saw was similar loads secured differently. And was mine secured improperly? No, it would pass DOT as legal, okay? But was it the right way to do it? No. And the second way that I showed you with the chains and the few straps that they used was a proper way. The first thing on my load that I should have used, and I did not, and it was the white paper corner secure deals. That what they do is help to not tear through the edge of where the strap comes over the end of the metal. If the metal is to vibrate, it could cut through the securement. So you put those little edge protectors on there to protect that from happening. Okay, I didn't have that on mine. Is it legal? Yeah, it's still legal, but it does run that risk. Okay. Properly, or again, what I did was legal, but the better way to do it was to use change. And then on the forward and aft of each layer, you need to put X. What you saw was chains that went across and then down and under each side. And what that does is prevents the load from moving forward and aft, okay? And you would need that for each layer. Or bulkhead, which I didn't have bulkhead either. I'm bringing this up because sometimes we get a little laxed, and I was laxed in that day. And you know, short answer was, it was Thursday. There was a tropical storm coming through, and it was raining. It was raining really good, and I wasn't about to stand on top of that slick ass metal and end up slicing myself open. So I threw straps across it, and I threw enough and put it in the right positions to where I knew that it was DOT legal. Okay, you know, we got to make sometimes very quick decisions. They don't have to be permanent. So later on down the road, when it wasn't raining, you can go ahead on and do that properly. or the more safer way. I keep saying properly. Now, Melton has a book. In a book, it shows you securement on some things. It can't possibly show you everything in every load, in every scenario, but there's enough there to get you a good, put you on the right track. And if you don't, you can call safety. And I saw somebody else doing it, and I said, I'm going to do this for the time being, and I'm just going to make it happen. And I stood out in the rain and I did it. Doing it in the rain is not an excuse to not secure your loads to a point where they're not going, to do it safe and DOT legal. You have to do that. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, if it's lightning, whatever it is. Either postpone moving until that storm is passed, or, make the load legal. And my way wasn't the best way. It was legal. It just wasn't the best way. But I wanted to show you guys, the proper way. And yeah, I did it that way. And when I pulled into the terminal, one of the safety guys came up and explained to me why it's done the way, with the chains and that good thing. So, no harm, no foul, but because it was legal, but there's a standard that Melton wants us to do. And I don't doubt that they're the only ones. I'm pretty sure that there's other flatbed companies that do the same thing. They want you to over secure the load. And was my load over secured? Yeah, but it wasn't over secured in the manner of which if a catastrophic failure happened to the straps, that would not happen with chains. You follow me? All right. So let's move on to the next thing. I wanted to answer a few questions, and I'm going to try to answer them, as many of them and as quickly as I can, okay? And if you got some questions about the securement deal, drop it down there. Anyways, Martez 752, he was interested in CDL truck rental link, CDL test truck. CDL test truck, I know, is in Texas, and I was going to actually go through them to get my CDL. The problem with that is you got to know where to go once you get out, okay? And if I knew then what I know now about transportation and trucking, I would have still done that, and then come to Melton, because they will take you with no experience on your CDL, and they'll train you here. You go through their, you don't have to go through their school, okay? So that was a good deal. But I sent them that link. That link is but basically a CDL test truck. It's Texas for sure. Okay, so that's a good way to get your CDL. They also have a YouTube page too, and you can kind of watch some of their stuff on YouTube. Actually, that's where I went and I learned the air brake test. Bianca, she says, 50 plus, with an orientation, what documents do you have to fill out or sign? Do we redo the application by hand over again? No, you don't. You don't redo the application by hand over again, unless you've done something, totally catawampus in the one online, and in that case, you just do another one online. Okay, get with your recruiter. Let your recruiter tell you everything you're going to need, and they're going to actually send you an email with a list of stuff that you're gonna need. Okay, and the reason why I'm reluctant to just go deep into that is because those rules could change. You just never know what's needed now and what's not needed now, and how things are done now that everything is kind of streamlined, so that you don't have to be interacting with very many people with this, where we are with this COVID-y thing. Let's go to another one here. I had a couple more. I'm going from the bottom up. If you sent me a question and I hadn't responded to it, I will. Okay, and resend it if you need to. Geraldo says a Republican Party. Oh, okay. I remember that question. He was talking about. He was responding to my venting on why I'm a Republican and why I have a Republican train of thought, and I agree with his response. Let's put it to you that way. Let's keep going. We're gonna try to get through this real quick. There's a couple of good ones. I want to try to get to those before I end this. Okay. James, Betty, he said, you demand your videos, or I love your videos and the energy. Are there any trucking companies you would recommend to help someone like me get into trucking? Yes. If you don't have your CDL, and you're not in a position to pay for junior college or schooling or something like that to get your CDL on your own, then you need to get with a company that will basically finance your acquisition of your CDL. I did it that way, not because I couldn't afford it, but I did it that way because I found it very quick to being on my own driving, and I went with Swift because of that. It was kind of all inclusive. Okay, so it wasn't that I went to a school, got a CDL, then had to go find a company to hire me. You went through school, you got school, and you went to a truck. I like that procedure. It was quick, it was easy, and they had a lot of incentives, and I ended up not paying anything for the CDL. Well, I actually ended up paying $375 for my CDL. You ain't gonna get it no cheaper than that. So I'm really good. I'm really glad at that. Okay, and so Swift is one. And again, you guys, don't let anybody tell y'all don't trash about them. Okay, it's a good company. They did. I did well. And then Prime is another. You can, same thing. You just go to them, and actually, I was going to go with Prime first. The reason I didn't go with Prime first was because I would have had to go get my license in another state and then transfer license back to a Texas license. I didn't want to do that. So, I didn't want to go to Missouri and change my get a Missouri license and then change back to Texas license. I want to always be Texan. And I'm sure there's a few other companies, okay? But before you choose on a method or a path of getting this done, you need to decide first what you want. What's your end game? You want to do refrigerated? You want to do dry van? You want to do flatbed? What is it that you want? Tanker? And then you got to make sure that you choose a company that's going to be able to help you fit that end game. Okay, that's number one. So you don't end up getting into bondage with a company that you're going to regret later. They're not they put you in reefer and you don't want to do refrigerated. But that's all they do. There's companies that does that, and it's not their fault. You should have checked to find out what if they had anything other than refrigerator. If you didn't want to do refrigerator, you should have went over there. So I don't saying that they're bad people or bad companies. I'm just saying that you need to do your due diligence to find out what company is going to best fit you. Okay, but if you want to do refrigerated, then go to Prime, check them out. Swift also has a refrigerator program. And it's big, and so same as dry van. If you want to do dry van, don't go to Prime. They move dry freight, but they move in reefer trailers because there's a reefer place. Okay, just for an example. Okay, I think they have tanker also. So if you want tanker, don't go to Swift because they don't have tanker. That's what I'm saying. Okay, but either one of them, you can have, little to no money, and then you're gonna come out of there with a CDL and a job and making good money. Either one of them, you're not gonna do bad. All right, James, I hope that helps you out. And let me see if I can get another one or two in here. I'm kind of dragging this one a little bit. I'm putting a little time on this one because I've neglected to upload as often as I have been on this page, and I just find it a little bit difficult sometimes running regional, because we're always running rummaging chaos. Okay, I think that's what that says. I've been at Prime over a year, and I'm thinking about switching to Swift for that free college program. I want to be a high school teacher. And free school sounds appealing. Yes, they do have a school program. So does Melton. So does a whole lot of companies, okay? And Prime is a very good company, okay? And you're already there, and you already been there a year, and you're gonna start over from scratch if you was to go anyplace else. I would find out from Prime if they have a tuition reimbursement for college. I would be very surprised if they don't have something that could help you with your end game, okay? And verify that before you leave, okay? I'm not telling you to not go to Swift for that, but you're in a pretty good spot over there, Prime, okay? So think about it. Let's see. Yeah, he says, I've been looking at the Swift. They also have a dedicated, and I don't want to be OTR for the next 4 years. Yes, that was him responding to my same thing I just told you. And you know, we all have priorities. We got to put them in the right perspective before we make that move. Your end game is to be a school teacher, and you know, my hat's off to you. It's on, but you know, here, my hat's off to you. You know, dealing with other people's teenagers. Oh my goodness. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. God. Woo. Anyways, we do need teachers. We need good ones. See what else we got here. I had a couple of last minute ones that I wanted to. There they went. I did refresh the page and they popped up. XX Squeaker XX. I forgot to ask you, but did you take the Swift Academy to get your CDL? Yes, I did. And did you take that off? Oh, do they take that off your paycheck as well? Yes, they do. And when you call Swift, and this is pretty much typical with any of them, okay? They will do that. They're gonna front you the money for the school, not for the your food, or you know, but they will get you there and pay for the room, your room. Excuse me. They'll pay for your room, and they'll pay for you know, for the classes and stuff to help you get through that. You're gonna need a little money, you know, to you know, keep something in your belly while you're there. And then when you're done, you'll go to a mentor's truck, and you're gonna start getting paid. It's not until after you get your own truck and you start pulling your first load, they're gonna start taking money out of your check to pay for the school. However, they have a sign-on bonus, and generally sign-on bonus is equal to or more than the cost of the school. So what'll happen is, as you're driving and you're paying each paycheck towards your school, each quarter they're going to give you this big old hunk of chunk back for student your sign-on bonus, which then gives you that money back. And so what I'm telling you is, yeah, it happened just like I explained it to you. And when I left Swift, I only had one payment left. It was $375. And they had reimbursed every cent except for that. So all I paid for my CDL was $375. So the tuition reimbursement does work. It is true, and don't hesitate. It's the real deal. He says, nope. King Cobra, could you do a video on what permits you should have and how to keep them organized? The permits, okay. Also, what's a good book or other things of reference into how to secure things? Man, you asked, King Cobra, brother, you asked some really good questions right there. Really good questions. When you do oversized loads, in fact, that load that I just showed you, that was an oversized load. The one that the flat steel that had them chains on it, not the one that I secured, but the other one was outside the rails. Those loads have are over dimensional. Okay, so they're over dimensional. I mean, they're outside of the rails, and those oversized loads. So those oversized loads get permits, and those permits are with the bills when you get them. With this company, it is. Some companies you have to fax them because it depends on what, if you're like an owner operator in something like owner-operated companies, okay, and then you have to have them faxed somewhere. You have to fax them to a truck stop or something. Okay. Anyways, I use this little deal right here. See this little deal right here? Just a little deal. Open it up. Got some in there right now. And you just keep them keep your permits in there. But while you are driving, you put those permits in your door pocket, okay? Because they have to be readily available with the bills while you're transporting that oversized load, okay? If you go to FMCSA, there is a book. That book's like $60, and it is a load securement guide, and it's the same one that DOT uses. It's about that thick, and I don't know if you've gone to law school, but you damn near gonna need that because everything is so different. Every load is so different. But the basics is what you would need to know, and it will provide that. That book is like really thick. I'm gonna tell you, I got firsthand information with that book when I got pulled over by the DOT. I had one strap too few in the front on the first load. On the metal in the first part of this video, you saw layers, okay? Each layer, if it's separated by anything, not laying on top of each other, but if it's separated by something, that makes it a separate load. And so you have to have two straps on each one of them, okay? And all that stuff is in that book. But the deputy that pulled me over showed me the book. He says, "Look, man, it's got all these pictures in the back." It looked like it had a lot of informative information in it. He took me $60, and I just hadn't purchased it yet. But that's where you want to go to get the proper information. You can watch us on YouTube do things, and you don't even know if the person who's showing you that is showing it to you the right way. You don't want to find out, the hard way. Put it to you that way. So if you go to a Flatbed company, you're going to go through a securement class. The one at Melton's like 8 days, something like that. It's long, man. The orientation is like 8 days, and maybe 2 of those days might be indoors, but everything else is low securement. So you're going to get a really good foundation to build on. So don't be worried, But you can go on the DLT website so you can get that securement book. In fact, I think when I get done making this video, I'm gonna go ahead on and get on DOT, and I'm going to order one. And when I get it, I'll make a video showing you guys about that. Okay, I think that's long enough for us today. We've been a little while. I did a little bit long one today because I've been neglecting to upload as many videos as I would normally upload. Please, guys, like, subscribe to this page, and also I'm doing the cooking videos on the truck and at home on my new cooking channel. It's 18 Wheels and Cooking, and I'm actually going to make one today. And see my new oven, there it is right there. See, ding ding ding, I got a new one. So I bought some new tools, cooking tools. You know, I always use my Instant Pot, and so I bought a new toaster oven. It's got a fancy little gadget inside of it that we're gonna play with today, and I'm gonna upload that video on that website, on that channel, and a few other the new tools that I got to cook with, and I'm just gonna do some fun stuff. Okay, it's gonna be in one of these sizes. It's gonna be like a little circle with an eye in the middle, look like that there. If you click on that, it's going to have the links, and one of those links is going to be to that cooking channel. Please go to that channel and like and subscribe to videos. Like and subscribe to the page, and make sure you like those videos on there. I want to help grow that page so that we can. I know that you are interested in that. Okay. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna at least start doing at least 2. I know I keep saying that. Regionalism it keeps you busy. When it's time to stop, it's time to stop. You hear me? All right. Until I see you again, deliver undistracted, and here's your boop. Oh, I met one of the UBS here at the Laredo terminal. I want to say, hey, thank you for stopping by long enough to say hi to me. It makes me feel good. I really appreciate that. Anyways, here's your boop.